Before we swim to take the helm of character power gauging, let us first reflect on how Luffy's Gear 5 comes to be. To do this, we must first analyze the basis of Luffy's gear mechanics, his Devil Fruit. Gear 5 is simply a combination of all his gear abilities, plus a Devil Fruit awakening. But of course, to elaborate on this further, let us explore his Devil Fruit abilities. What is Luffy's Devil Fruit as per what's revealed so far in One Piece? What we know that Luffy's Devil Fruit to be a Paramecia Type 1. Paramecia types are usually considered the weakest. The Gomu Gomu no Mi allows the user to turn themselves into rubber. That's what we have always known. The first time we ever witnessed this fruit was at the beginning of One Piece when Red Hair Shanks is shown to have the fruit in his possession. At that time, he said he got this from a pirate ship. It was earlier considered a Paramecia type, which allows the supernatural ability to users, but Luffy's Devil Fruit is actually a mythical Zone-type Devil Fruit, which is the rarest of the rare, and Shanks stole it from CP9. Zone types allow the user to transform into an animal or hybrid of another species. Logia types, which allow the user to turn themselves into some elemental attribute, are usually considered rare and strong. Normal zone types is not a big deal, but mythical zone types are on the planetary scale. Mythical zone even surpasses ancient zone, such as Jack, who can turn into a mammoth. There's a reason why Sengoku is one of the strongest One Piece characters ever. His Devil Fruit is a mythical zone type, one which manifests the ancient Buddha into being. Marco, on the other hand, can turn into the animal from the legends, a phoenix, and Kaido can turn himself into a freaking dragon. And Luffy has the power of Hito Hito Nomi model Sun God Nika. Sun God Nika was a being of antiquity. He was a deity that treasured freedom over anything. In an ancient forgotten age where slavery was the norm, Nika went around saving the slaves from their misery. Nika was very playful in nature and was the chief embodiment of chaos. But there is one entity that absolutely hates chaos: the world government. How did previous gear mechanics work? In simple terms, the gear mechanics is the utilization of Luffy's rubber-like abilities given through his Devil Fruit. Given that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is actually Hito Hito no Mi, the rubber abilities of Luffy can be considered the initial manifestation of his Devil Fruit. This is important as it will help us understand Luffy's Gear 5 mechanics. In Gear 2nd, Luffy pumped blood through his rubber-like body. The increased blood flow takes a toll on the body but allows increased speed, durability, strength, and endurance. Gear 3rd is Luffy pumping air in his body to make it bigger. It allows for heightened strength primarily. Gear 4 is the culmination of the previous abilities in some sense, albeit not completely. Gear 4 is more tied with the use of armament haki. Luffy inflates himself using Gear 3, then shrouds himself in a shield of black armament haki. This allows for an unexplainable increase in his strength, endurance, mobility, and speed. There are 3 forms to Gear 4th: Bounce Man, Snake Man, and Tank Man. All 3 have a unique specialization of their own. While Bounce Man focuses more on distributing intense attacks, Tank Man is focused on defense. Snake Man, as obvious from its name, has impeccable speed. Luffy Gear 5 is the result of his Devil Fruit awakening. What exactly is Gear 5? It is the awakening of the Zone-type Devil Fruit that allows Luffy to transform into the Sun God Nika. It is an accumulation of all his previous gear mechanics, along with the supernatural abilities to transform into the Sun God. Luffy Gear 5. Utilization of previous gears, enhanced ability to control one's heartbeat and internal body mechanics, surpassing Gear 2. Luffy Gear 5 utilizes the breathing from Gear 2. In Gear 2, Luffy pumps blood more rapidly through his body by focusing on his breath. In Gear 5, Luffy has mastered breathing and rhythm, and hence is able to control how much blood flows in which part of his body. This is freaking insane because this gives him the foundation of Gear 2nd in all instances. Imagine Luffy and his Gear 2 strength in his base form. Gear 5 allows him to change the rhythm of his heart. He can basically remap his blood pressure and heartbeat to match the tension of the fight. Gear 3 had its drawback from the fact that, after using it for a prolonged time, Luffy would shrink into a chibi version, exhausted from all the air circulation. Gear 5 just skips the part where one has to inflate their hands with air. Luffy Gear 5 can just shift into whatever size he wishes to turn into. Kaido stated that in his Sun God form, Luffy was shrouding himself with Conqueror's Haki on top of Armament Haki. Such advanced use of Conqueror's Haki on top of advanced armament is simply bazooka-level shit. Other than the abilities we just discussed, there is an array of sunshine to add to Luffy's awakening. Zone-type awakenings are peculiar in the sense that they enhance the user's stats. Luffy can bend reality to a certain extent. He can turn any other substance that he touches into rubber. Even elemental attributes such as lightning and clouds can be turned into rubber. Doflamingo and Katakuri have previously shown something similar, where both can create and control their created substance. Luffy is capable of turning other things into rubber. With a touch, he turns Kaido into rubber, where it seems as if he is almost punching through him. But it's actually Kaido's face turning into rubber and stretching upon which an advanced armament haki-covered fist of Luffy penetrates. How much we know about Gear 5 is limited by what is available to us. And of course, like always, what is available to us is very scarce. Gear 5 is only the latest revelation. Now that One Piece has ascended into the throne wars between the now new emperors, we still have a lot to ask regarding Luffy's abilities. Luffy is one, if not the strongest character in One Piece.